Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's so easy with Anchor.
Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad. We struggled to find the right way to distribute our podcast, and Anchor made it quick, easy, and free. We're on platforms we had never heard of, and that's all thanks to Anchor doing the hard work.
So, if you have been thinking about starting your own podcast, head on over to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to Spilling the Mad Tea. I'm Stephanie, joined by Katie, Kelly, and Rachel today. Hey everyone!
Hola!
What's up, girl?
Hello!
Okay, so big news. Disney Plus officially announced its opening day lineup. What's the first thing you guys are going to watch?
I think I'm going to have to go for The Mandalorian. It just looks really good.
I think that's a good choice.
So, I'm really excited about all the new content coming with this, but I think I'm most excited about having access to a lot of older stuff that hasn't been on other streaming platforms and that is either in the vault or you just can't really get your hands on it anymore. So I'm going to watch A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
What?
Oh, it's so
What
good.
the heck is that?
It's like a 90s movie based on the book, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Okay.
It's a Mark Twain book, and I read the book in middle school and watched the movie, and it's the only time I've ever seen it because it's an older movie from the 90s, and if it's around, it's on VHS, and so I haven't seen it in years, and I'm really excited to be able to watch it.
Y'all, okay, I am going to watch Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Oh,
Nice.
That's where I'm going first.
I think the first thing I'm going to have to watch is The Descendants because I do not understand 40% of what my niece and my sister are talking about. This makes up a large portion of the day and I cannot keep up. So, Disney Plus, I will be able to join in on the conversation. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I made sure that I'm wearing my spooky pants today. Because we are here to talk about some of our favorite Halloween traditions. So it got me thinking, do you guys have a favorite memory from Halloween growing up? I always remember making costumes with my mom. She never wanted to buy costumes because they were expensive and overpriced, and so we'd always make them. So I have been a variety of things, from a cardboard Game Boy to a table to the Statue of Liberty, before they sold Statue of Liberty costumes, by the way. I take a lot of pride in that. Do you guys have any favorite Halloween memories?
Can we go back to you saying you were a table?
You
just kind of glossed over that.
Can we not gloss over
Do you
that?
have photos of this? God, I hope you did.
Yeah, I mean,
What kind of table were you?
I had a giant piece of cardboard that extended 3 feet in every direction on my neck, with a tablecloth and place settings and a floral centerpiece.
That sounds
is amazing.
great.
Why? What did you guys do to prepare for Halloween in your families?
Probably my favorite Halloween memories growing up were with my sister. We would sort our candy at the end of the night together, and then trade and make these we had a system. It was currency. It was a Reese's is worth 5 Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, yeah.
And so we got our first taste of adulthood, high stakes trading and gambling. It was great.
Oh, man.
So I would always go to my grandma's house for Halloween. She lived in a larger neighborhood, so all of my cousins and I would go over there to go trick-or-treating to get the most candy. But before Halloween, I would go over there and help her fill up little treat bags that she would hand out to all the trick-or-treaters. And my grandma always made my costumes, so growing up, I always had handmade costumes, which I really appreciate now because I still have a couple of them left. So I really appreciate those. But we would always eat red beans and rice with sausage over there before going trick-or-treating. So that was my tradition, and I miss it.
I like that.
My favorite memories of Halloween, we were not a big Halloween crew, but, like, we never decorated or anything. But my mom would always take us trick-or-treating in the neighborhoods behind our house. And they had some bomb-ass candy and some bomb-ass decorations. So they made up for our lack of. But I just always remember that because she was always here, like, super present for Halloween and stuff. So it was fun.
That's a nice memory.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any plans for Halloween this year?
See. So like I've said before, Halloween's my favorite holiday, and we always host the Halloween party out here because I just like to go all out, decorate, and do all that kind of stuff. So this year, we're having a New Orleans-themed murder mystery on the Saturday before Halloween, and then we'll be handing out candy to trick-or-treaters on actual Halloween night.
That's so extra. I love it.
It's so Kelly and Jerry.
Yeah, I love it. I love our Halloween parties. I'm so looking forward to it.
I'm not doing anything on Halloween. I'm going to work on Halloween, and then I'm going to not do anything because we are, like, I don't know. I like to refer to us as bougie on Halloween night, and we turn our lights off, and I do not give out candy.
I don't know if that's bougie so much as, like, Scroogey. Like,
Yeah, I think that's pretty
Right, I'm the Scrooge. I was literally about to say the same. I'm the Scrooge of Halloween.
I don't have any plans either, but I just don't have plans because we're in the middle of moving and packing, and nothing is set in stone for us right now. So we have decided we're just going to see where the Halloween spirit takes us that day. I work during the day, but Cameron and I are both off that night and both off the next day, and we're just gonna see. We're gonna see.
Halloween spirit, where will you take us?
We might read some tarot cards. We might raise some ghosts. Who knows?
Well, the Halloween spirit is taking me to Olani on Halloween, and I'm so excited. I bought like
You're so
a
cute.
Sanderson Sisters Museum t-shirt that I can wear all day. When I'm not wearing my pumpkin bathing suit that I have ordered, neither of which have been delivered yet, but when they come, they're going to be great, I hope. And I am like so excited to try this like pumpkin Dole Whip that they serve there. I've like seen it on Instagram, so I know it's back this year, and I'm very excited.
And I very much demand, like, a whole review
Oh, you
of
got
that while you're doing it and when you come home.
it. Deal.
Like, I need everything.
But I'm also hoping that like Olani does like movies on the beach, like all like the Walt Disney World park hotels do. You know how they have like a movie at night? Because I think we all know that Halloween movies are like the best part of Halloween.
Yep.
You can like gear up for Halloween all month by watching your favorite Halloween movies, and it's so much fun. So we took to Instagram yesterday to ask everyone what their favorite Halloween movies are. So we want to thank everyone who sent in responses. So today we're going to go through them and talk about some of these favorite spooky season films.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly, do you want to get us started with a good Halloween movie?
I do. If you're looking for a spooky movie this Halloween, look no further. Guillermo del Toro's hottest movie is Crimson Peak. Located in a decrepit old mansion, this film has everything. Murder, ghosts, puffy sleeves, and Tom Hiddleston's butt.
So I have never seen this movie, but I am always one to take Stefan's advice. So I will definitely have to check this out.
It's become like one of my favorite movies ever. It's got the creepy factor. It's got like this really cool story, and there's twists and turns, and I just love the whole aesthetic of it. It's fabulous.
Can I be real honest with you? I have never even heard of this movie.
Not a lot of people have heard about this or have seen it. It wasn't a very popular movie when it came out because it was advertised as like a pure horror movie when it's not. So if you go in, it's like a gothic romance is how I would describe it, with some like ghosts and horror elements thrown in.
All right.
It's not super scary. It's just very like atmospheric, and I love it.
Well, I'll take the next movie. And this was put on Instagram by Josh, and I'm not surprised because he likes this shit and I don't like it at all. He said the Blair Witch Project, the original Blair Witch Project, which he made me watch that one and the new one, and I didn't like it at all. So there's that.
I mean, it's unsettling.
Shit's a mess is what it is.
It's too real.
It's real.
It's so different. Yeah, that's the thing about it. Like, I remember in high school, like, a big group of us got together at a friend's house and we watched this. And it was just unlike any other, like, scary movie you'd seen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was made to look like a documentary. It was made to
Right.
look like real footage. And
Yeah.
so I do think that's really cool. I don't know if it's a must watch for me every Halloween, but
Right,
it's
no.
definitely cool, and it stands out amongst this list.
If you want to feel like you've accidentally found like a real people actually dying on film,
Yeah.
like that, watch this movie.
This movie is one of my like go-tos for the Halloween season. If you haven't seen the Addams Family, it's a couple con artists planning to fleece an eccentric family using an accomplice who claims to be their long-lost uncle. It's so eccentric and so fun and so different. It makes you feel like really good about your crazy family, which I love.
Right.
And several of the scenes in the movie reference the original Charles Addams illustrations, most notably the introductory sequence where the Addams family pours a cauldron of oil on Christmas carolers. Yeah, and then one of the like favorite scenes, I think, for me is when Morticia and Gomez take turns bidding on like an item that they donated, and they're like buying it back from themselves, and it's so funny. It just you like instantly fall in love with these characters. They're just so bizarre, and it's perfect for Halloween time. I love it.
It's like a good like wholesome, spooky
Yes.
Yeah.
movie. Well, if you're not into super creepy stuff, one of my favorite Halloween movies is Paranorman. It is a newer movie. It came out in 2012, and it is animated. It's just adorable. It's one of those like really good wholesome family Halloween movies, and it is Halloween, themed Halloween. This like classic, sad, misunderstood boy fights ghosts, zombies, and grown-ups to save his town from a centuries-old curse.
This is like a good like family film for Halloween. It's very fun.
I'm interested to watch it like 10 years from now, or like watch it with like kids in the future, because it's got a lot of references that were like very 2012 and like it was a very like, you can tell that it's a newer film with some of the like references and situations, and it's good.
Do you guys remember Twitches?
Yes! I love this movie.
Well, it has Tia and Tamara Mowry, who play two teen witches who were separated at birth and adopted by two different families. And they
That sounds
meet
familiar.
on their 21st birthday and must use their powers to save the world in which they were born. It was cute. It was good. It was fun. It's got Tia and Tamara. Like, it was good.
They're so
Yeah.
good. I love them.
It kind of sounds like they were like, let's take sister, but just make them witches.
Basically. In fact, when the two girls meet for the first time in the movie, they bump into each other in a clothing store. And that's the same way they met in the first episode of Sister.
Yes. I loved that. Okay. Well, I don't know who put this one, but Scream is it is quite a good film. The main plot of the story is that a year after the murder of this girl Sydney's mother died or got murdered, she is now terrorized by a new killer called Ghostface. But yeah, it's like this deadly game, and he like targets girls, and then he like kills whoever is around them too. Like he calls them on the phone, and he's like, do you like scary movies? And I'm like, all right, sir.
So the next movie is one that we had a couple of votes for, and that is for The Craft. This was a movie released in 1996. Basically, it's about a girl. There's a girl who's new at a Catholic high school, and she falls in with a trio of outcast teenage girls who practice witchcraft, and they all start to use spells for various things, and the spells are really great. Everything's, going according to plan. They're getting everything they wanted. All the, like mean girls are getting punished and getting what they deserve, and but they take it too far, and it takes like a dark turn. But it's really good. It's very like practical magic. It meets like a teen movie. One of the really cool fun facts, I always love stories from like filming and from the set. So an official website of the film said, quote, "The crew had to return to the location a second time to complete filming, interrupted by several weird occurrences that even caused witch consultant Pat Devon to raise an eyebrow. As the fog rolled in at midnight, the 4 actresses used actual Wiccan rites and language to invoke powerful forces," which, why would you do that?
And one of the actresses is a Wiccan in real life. So there she is performing real things.
Uh-huh. So that actress who plays the character Nancy, as she attempts to invoke the deity Manon in the movie, a real flock of bats hovered over the set, and the tide rose dramatically, extinguishing the circle of candles laid out. Witchcraft consultant Devon recalls that Manon, a fictitious creation of the film, sounds very close to Manannan, the Gaelic god of the sea. Luckily, we weren't all swept to sea.
So weird.
Creepy.
Right.
They were literally being witches.
Yeah, they were fucking with some shit. But it's a really cool movie, and you get that authenticity from it.
Well, another one that can be Christmas, or it can be Halloween, or
Just really kicks off the holiday season.
Yeah.
Is The Nightmare Before Christmas. If you haven't seen it, Jack Skellington, the king of Halloweentown, discovers Christmastown, but his attempts to bring Christmas to his home causes all kinds of confusion, and people go batshit crazy. So there's that. It's a Tim Burton film, so it's clearly going to be good.
Well, I am grateful for this film for what it does to the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland every October.
Yeah. That's really cool.
The overlay that they do there is like one of my favorite things in all of the parks. It is so fun. I remember when we went out there, we thought maybe there'd be like a Jack Skellington like hidden in the Haunted Mansion somewhere. But like it is a completely new ride. It's so cool.
Yeah, I do feel like in the recent years, it's gotten this huge popularity, and there's like almost an oversaturation of Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, especially when, September starts to roll around, and you just like everybody comes out with a Nightmare Before Christmas thing, and it's everywhere.
I could never get into Nightmare Before Christmas. I just don't understand the hype. I mean, I'm glad other people like it, but I just don't get it.
We were very about It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, we were too.
I think like when we'd come back from trick-or-treating, like we'd turn on the TV and we'd always catch this movie. Mm-hmm. It's something that like our parents grew up with, and it's something that like I grew up with. So it's multi-generational, and it's really fun. So the Peanuts gang is celebrating Halloween, while Linus goes and waits in a pumpkin patch waiting for the Great Pumpkin, who is like the Santa Claus of Halloween. And it's just, it's a Peanut special. So it's adorable and it's wonderful. But one fun fact that I read was that, Lucy's like signature move where she pulls the football away from Charlie Brown as he's about to kick it. This was the first time that it was animated.
Oh.
Mama always makes us watch, or when we were living there, she made us watch every Charlie Brown special ever on TV. She's like, "It's here, it's time, come on,
Yeah, the classics. It's
Yeah.
just part of it's part of the holiday.
Yep.
I feel like if you've got like a creepy little child who's into like the weirder side of things, this would be a great first movie to like get them started on some horror movies, which is Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
So it's based on the ride. The plot is that a disgraced reporter, played by Steve Guttenberg, investigates an abandoned luxury hotel where five mystery people, 5 people mysteriously disappeared 60 years earlier. It has Kristen Dunst in it, and she's like really little. And and I think it's so funny. Most of the footage in the tower was filmed at the Tower of Terror attraction in Hollywood Studios, but to not get the rest of Hollywood Studios in their shots, you only see one shot of Tower of Terror, the exterior of it. It just keeps flashing up that same shot because they don't want to get the rest of Hollywood Studios in the photo and in the shot, and I just think that's so funny.
Yeah, it's the one shot the whole movie. They're like,
yeah.
Bumba, Tower of
Yeah,
Terror.
it's exactly what happens. It's a really cute movie, and like I said, it would be a great first horror movie. Not that it's even horror, but
Creepy, scary, yeah.
Yeah. So Disney used this TV movie to test the waters when they were trying to turn all of the Disney parks attractions into movies. So that was kind of the first one, and then Mission to Mars. There was The Country Bears, didn't like that. Pirates of the Caribbean, which was the most successful one, and that one continued to be a franchise. And then there was The Haunted Mansion and a few others, but most people know about Pirates of the Caribbean now.
But this was the first.
And one of the best.
Definitely one of the best. I think it's super underrated.
It makes me sad that not more people have seen this when they go into the parks and ride the ride. I mean, you don't have to, but I think it adds something if you know who those ghosts are that you're looking at before you drop in the elevator.
It's definitely one that I have to watch every year around Halloween time.
So our next Halloween movie is Sleepy Hollow.
I love this movie.
And it is one of the, it's just one of the best movies. It's just a good movie. Mm-hmm. It is an adaptation, obviously, of the original Sleepy Hollow story. And it follows the same classic story. Ichabod Crane is in the village of Sleepy Hollow, and there's a headless horseman terrorizing the town. In this, Ichabod Crane is investigating decapitations of 3 people at the hands of the headless horseman. We do see the headless horseman in the parks as well, in the Boo to You parade. So if you've ever wondered why the parade starts with a gigantic, beautiful horse with a headless man riding it, that's where that comes from.
Yeah, I was going to say, this movie is not children appropriate. I would not suggest for children to watch it. Go watch the Disney one.
Yeah, definitely not. This one is the darker, more gothic feel, definitely more adult adaptation of the Sleepy Hollow story. It's got Johnny Depp in it in his finest years when he is so beautiful.
Yes.
And it is so good. And it's a very beautiful movie. It's just very well shot. The photography is gorgeous. The movie was actually shot almost entirely with a blue filter. So for all of the blood to appear red, the liquid used had to be bright orange.
Fancy.
Yeah. I can just imagine filming a scene and trying to stay in character, and you've got orange shit
highlighter.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Beetlejuice is
classic,
one, and it is so fantastic.
It's just I remember watching this with my mom, and she was when they stretched their faces out to look scary, she's like, okay, cover your eyes, you're not gonna like this part. I can clearly remember her telling me that. Mm-hmm. And it's just such a classic.
I remember this and Hocus Pocus being the first movies that I actually that's where my tradition of watching Halloween movies every year started, was watching Beetlejuice and Hocus Pocus.
The plot is the spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their home, and they hire a malicious spirit to drive them out. Malicious spirit being Sir Michael Keaton, who played Beetlejuice.
Did you know he's only in 17 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, he's
That's
hardly in the movie at all.
Yeah.
And people always get weirded out that that's Alec Baldwin in the movie. People are like, because he doesn't look anything like he did in the movie now. He's he looks completely different. It's just, he looks so young in Beetlejuice.
But a couple of fun facts that I liked reading through this. Michael Keaton ad-libbed about 90% of his lines in this movie, which
that's
is
great.
So fun. And Beetlejuice was the first DVD that was sent out on Netflix in 1998 when Netflix did the mail you the actual physical copies of movies.
What? I did not know
love
Netflix was
that.
around in 1998. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, first of all, what the fuck? Second of all,
Well, I think with however many times we've said his name, we have definitely summoned him. So I think we should move on to the next before he shows up.
So our next movie is not only my, and I hate to say this because
Just don't
I
say
don't
it. Don't say
disrespect
it.
the
Don't
greatest
say it.
Halloween movie of all time. But
Just don't
this
say it.
is my favorite Halloween movie and also my favorite movie. And that is Practical Magic.
Aw.
It came out in 1998. I was obsessed with this movie as a kid. As soon as it came out, it was one of those movies I watched over and over and over again. I would watch it like 2 or 3 times a week. I wanted to be Gillian Owens. I wanted red hair. I wanted to live in this movie. Like I was obsessed with it. If you haven't seen it because you are living your life wrong, it is about 2 witch
No
sisters.
judgment. No judgment.
No judgment, but watch the damn movie. It's about 2 witch sisters raised by their eccentric aunts in a small town. They face closed-minded prejudice and a curse which threatens to prevent them from ever finding lasting love. So it's got everything.
Anytime I watch this movie, like, I feel closer to you guys. Like, it just reminds me so much of how we are when we're together. I watched it earlier today, actually, and I was just like, it just gives you, like, this warm feeling. And it's just a very good movie.
One of the best things about this movie to me is it has evolved with me. Like, the way that I feel about the movie has kind of, like, evolved with me as I've grown up. And, like, as a kid, it was very, like, well, one day, like, I'll be free like the Owens sisters and I'll get to make my own decisions and live my own life. And then it became like I'm a badass woman. I don't need no man. And now it's like every time I watch it, I feel really close to you guys because you are my witch sisters.
Oh my gosh, that's really lovely.
Isn't it? That's why it's my favorite movie. Plus, I just love everything about it.
Yeah, especially at the end when, like, they all come together and it's just like warm, fuzzy feelings all over.
And it's got this, like, nice nostalgia to it. Like, the outfits are so 90s and, like, the way it's, like, the film itself, like, the photography of it and it's beautiful. My favorite scene in the movie is where they all get drunk and have midnight margaritas. I looked forward to being 21 so much because I couldn't wait to have midnight margaritas of my own. And even now, like, if I'm hanging out with my mom, we'll make margaritas, and even if it's like 1 PM, we're like, midnight margaritas. But according to Sandra Bullock, in that scene where they get drunk, the actresses actually got drunk. They were drinking some really bad tequila Nicole Kidman had brought.
I love that.
Well, you know what movie does not give me, like, warm and fuzzy and lovely feelings? Is The Haunted Mansion. Because, let's be honest, it's not a great movie. However,
I'm sorry, I disagree.
it's a must watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's based on, like, my favorite ride. So, in this version, this film adaptation of The Haunted Mansion, a realtor, Eddie Murphy, and his wife and children are summoned to a mansion, which they soon discover is haunted. And while they attempt to escape, he learns an important lesson about the family he's been neglecting for work. Yeah, it's just okay.
I think it's great.
I mean, you can't think it's, like, great.
So I love Haunted Mansion for what it is, but I have always thought, like, what the fuck is this storyline here? Other than
Yes.
it's a mansion that's haunted.
Yes.
So I like that it's got a storyline to it, that it brings that to the attraction, but I don't like it as part of Haunted Mansion. Like, to me, it's its own thing. It's its own separate thing.
Definitely.
Totally. And as its own separate thing, I think it's a really good Halloween movie.
So apparently this like storyline more closely falls in line with Phantom Manor in Paris, and like which was kind of inspired by parts of the stories from like the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland and Magic Kingdom, but like when those were created there was no story. It's just like, this is a creepy house with some creepy stuff inside. So I do like that the Phantom Manor like kind of has a story, and that this kind of played off that a little more. What I really love most about this film is all of the like Easter eggs and like cameos from like things in the attraction. So like that you see like the Dapper Dans or like the barbershop quartet that performs on Main Street. They make an appearance as the singing busts in the film. And fun fact, the hitchhiking ghosts were supposed to be a part of the movie. They were in like earlier drafts of the script, but they were trimmed back because they thought it was too overwhelming to have 3 supporting characters chiming in all the time. So I would really love to see like a film like based on the hitchhiking ghosts. Ooh. And like leave out Eddie Murphy and his family.
Yeah.
And just
I'd like
I'd
like to see that.
Right?
I would watch
For
that.
years, there have been rumors that Guillermo del Toro is making a Haunted Mansion movie. And I would be so psyched for that. I'm going to go back to Crimson Peak because obviously I love that movie. If you watch that and you see what he did with that movie, you're like, yes, please make a Haunted Mansion. He would be perfect for it. I would love a Haunted Mansion that's like the look and feel of Crimson Peak and like Sleepy Hollow rolled into one, but like set in this mansion. That is like my ultimate dream movie that hopefully will come to life one day. Come on, Guillermo del Toro, get your stuff together and make it.
Maybe Disney Plus would be a wonderful platform to release that on.
There you go.
People love this ride. Give me my Del Toro Haunted Mansion movie now.
Right now.
Right now.
But another movie that I really love is Halloweentown. Plot is that I'd say she's probably a teenager, preteen. Marnie, she learns that she's a witch, and her grandmother is also like this really popular person in this Halloweentown. And so she goes back with her to learn and, you know, to grow into her full potential as a witch. And so then she has to save the whole Halloweentown from this rude ass man named Calabar. Oh, fun fact I found out today is that I don't remember was the guy in the first film?
I think he was only in the second one.
I was thinking the second one. Okay, because he was Calabar's son. Okay.
Because he was,
All right. Well, he was in the second film, but apparently the person that plays Calabar's son in the second film, if you get that far, and the girl that plays Marnie, they are like a thing in real life.
I love that.
So sweet.
To this day. And so I'm like, this is so cool. Anyways, another one is that in St. Helens, Oregon, where the original Halloweentown was filmed, they welcome tourists to their town, and they have a month-long Spirit of Halloween event to celebrate the holiday, and they even have the giant jack-o'-lantern in their town square, and it's so cool, and I'd love to go to that one year.
I think this should be our next like Hello Thanks.
Yeah, I was like, question, how have we not done this before?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it'd be really fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Halloweentown's a good one. It's a classic in my book.
Yeah, I remember my mom like the movie was like coming on the TV, and she was like, oh, like when I was little, she's like, oh, come watch this movie with me. And, like, we watched it together, and I, like, clearly remember that, and it's always had a special place in my heart.
Are we ready to talk about another movie that has a special place in our hearts?
Drum roll!
I believe we're ready.
Have you guys ever heard of this, like, little movie? Not many people have seen it, so you might not know what we're talking about. There's, like, these 3 sisters who are witches. I think their last name is Sanderson.
I think I may have heard of them.
What is this?
We're talking about Hocus Pocus because it is the Halloween movie Holy Grail, in my opinion.
Yes.
In my humble opinion.
It is the bread and the butter of Halloween.
You may remember this as the movie where a curious youngster moves to Salem, where he struggles to fit in before awakening a trio of diabolical witches that were executed in the 17th century. So Bette Midler has said in an interview that this was her like favorite film of her own of all time, which I just think is so cool because Bette Midler has like quite an IMDb page. So for her to say that this is like one of the highlights of her career, I think is really, really cool.
I feel like the people made it a highlight of her career though, because like this little movie, like I'm sure they never thought this movie would be what it is today.
I mean, I definitely don't think like Sarah Jessica Parker thought that this movie would have the impact on her life that it has because so in the movie she plays a witch who was executed in the Salem witch trials, and in 2004 she went on that show Who Do You Think You Are, where they like look up your background and do all that like ancestry stuff. And she discovered that her 10th great grandmother was arrested in Salem, Massachusetts in the 1600s for committing sundry acts of witchcraft.
Crazy is that?
That's
Right?
insane.
Yeah,
But like
she's
really
like,
cool.
like the case never went to court and she like wasn't executed, but they still have this weird tie to one another.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's witchcraft.
She a witch.
She's a witch.
And then another fun fact is that the animatronic cat that plays Binks is also Salem in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
That's so
my
nice.
favorite
Same
fun
cat.
I love it.
Yeah, this is just such a classic movie.
I mean, I think it says a lot that on Halloween, Freeform just plays Hocus Pocus all day long.
I love that they do that because I'm just like, yes, because like
You can tune in at any time, catch it before trick-or-treating, after trick-or-treating, put it on during your Halloween party, while you're getting ready, eating breakfast in the morning. It is on all day.
it's so
It just
good.
it has everything. It's got creepy, it's got like a love story, it's got trick or treating, it's got ice.
It's got good music.
Yeah. And we mentioned this in our Not So Scary episode, but Rachel and Katie and I dressed up as the Sanderson sisters for Not So Scary, and it was a lot of fun. So I think like we'll always have a very special place for Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, it is my jam.
Well, if Hocus Pocus or any of these other movies are your jam, I hope that you will get excited and join us, because from now until Halloween, we are going to be running a Halloween movie bracket. And you guys, my brother's going to be like so proud. This kid is like freaking obsessed with brackets. To like decide what he's going to eat for dinner, he like makes a bracket. He's so weird. But he's going to be stoked. So please check us out on any of the social media platform to get involved and vote. We are going to post pictures of like a list of like these Halloween movies we talked about. And each day we'll move closer to determining if Hocus Pocus is the best Halloween movie or not.
Right?
Basically, we'll see how the other ones stack up. But maybe we'll be surprised.
I would love to be surprised.
You can go and vote in our stories on Instagram at Spilling the Mad Tea.
Yes, or you can go and check out everything and leave us some comments and vote on Facebook. We are Spilling the Mad Tea there.
We're going to be updating the brackets on Twitter each day, so you can reply with your favorites on there as well, at Spilling Mad Tea.
And we really love your emails, so you guys can always email us at spillingthemadtea@gmail.com.
Well, whatever you are doing this Halloween, we wish you happy trick-or-treating, happy movie watching, happy costume making. Have a great Halloween.
Bye-bye.
Bye.